supremacy. And with this particular video, I want to defend Yada. And by default, I guess I'll be defending Dr. Sebi from the attack that's been launched by young Pharoah and the conscious community. I got to touch on this. I'm sorry. I was just going to stay out of it, but I got to. First of all, I was disappointed to see that every time we get a black leader that's doing something remarkable for the people, that we have to find a reason to tear them down and destroy them. We'll use the bitterness of a relationship split as justifications to launch an attack on him. And that's what's happening. I'm not getting into the situations going on with his wife, because that's very personal. I know that split ups could be very difficult, and different views that people have on relationships within their relationships can be very confrontational. So I can't get into all that. That's their own personal and private business. But a lot of people have took advantage of that healing process between him and his wife as an opportunity to attack him as a businessman. Now they say, well, I'm not dealing with his personal business, between him and his wife, but I do want to talk about his business practices. But no, if it hadn't been for the attack on him by his wife, then there would be no investigation into his business practices. So they really won. So you're justifying attack on this brother. You're going in on the attack on this brother. Period. That's what's happening. So why do we, every time we get a black leader that's doing something, we have to tear him down? Now, I haven't spoke on Yada, but I do look at the videos that Olmec put up of what he's doing on the land with the pyramid, to me coming in the spirit of Dr. Malachi Z. York, in the tradition of Pops, and I have a lot of respect and love that he's acquired land and used it for healing purposes for black people who I've watched them go down there and heal and go through a healing process. I've seen Olmec's transition from dealing with melanation and growing through that, and then going it down with Yada's land, and I've watched with my own eyes his spiritual development process, which I think was very effective and very successful. So what he's done on that land has been amazing, and it's an excellent idea, and I'm glad that he's doing it. Just because I don't speak on everything or I don't comment on everything, don't mean I'm not watching and I don't see what's going on. And a lot of times y'all got to realize it's a lot of people looking at what's going on in the conscious community that are not saying nothing. So there are supporters in the shadows that's just not going to stand by and allow good things that black men are doing to go destroyed without some type of intervention. So just know that I've been watching and paying attention, and just because I haven't said nothing doesn't mean I have a negative perspective. It just means I want to observe it so that I could truly deliberate on it. And this is, to me, is the perfect opportunity. But I see what he got going on with the land, and it's amazing. Growing their own foods, and just the image that he's putting out. The positive image, coming in the energy of the ancestors, if you ask me. And that's an excellent thing that he's doing. But a lot of times people take advantage out of jealousy. They hop on the bandwagon to negatively tear down another black leader or a black teacher. And then they want to be able to say, well, I told you my way is better. They use it as an opportunity to show that they have a better product or a better way or better insight. So they're basically trying to rise off the downfall of another, which is really crabs in a bucket. It's a crabs in a bucket mentality that we see going on within the conscious community. But I want to speak on it. The major issue that people say they're having is that he's overcharging for the products. That he's getting products at a certain price that may be cheap, $5 or $10, and that he's marketing them all the way up to hundreds of dollars. Now, these are the allegations. We cannot confirm that of where he's getting his products or how he's getting his products, nor are we really the Better Business Bureau, or can we determine what the markup value is on his product. There's not like no regulation within the conscious community or conscious business community. There's no regulatory practices going on. So there's no limit of how much he can mark up a product. He didn't break any rules on that. There are no rules on it. People have been marking up this stuff for a lot of times. For a long time, people have been marketing up. They'll get a DVD that costs them 10 cents or $1 at the most for the blanks, and then they'll write something on it and they'll mark it up to $20, $25, 200%, 1,000% markups. So this has been going on. He may mark up a larger ticket item, but people are marking up smaller ticket items and still making 200 to 1,000% within the conscious community. They'll buy the fabric, and the fabric will be worth, a few dollars a yard, and they'll sell the outfit for $400 or $500. So they're marking up. This is not new, of people marketing up their product. This is what business is about: marketing up your product and finding ways to make money. That's what it's about. And the way marketing up your product is a marketing strategy, because it makes your product seem more valuable than it is, and it appeals to those who really believe in money, believing that the cost of something determines how effective it is. So a lot of people would not even engage in it or purchased it if it wasn't at a certain price. If it wasn't marked up high, they would think, well, this ain't really worth nothing. So a part of the marketing strategy is how much you price the items for. If anybody know anything about business, if you want to reach a certain audience with money that sees value based on price. But I want to go into, I don't want to deal too much with the business aspect of how fair those business practices are of him marking up the product and how people may feel scammed at the price they paid. But if he didn't tell you how much he bought the product for, then you can't necessarily be scammed because he sold it to you for $300. If he said, "Oh, I paid $200 for it, I'm selling it to you for $250," then you'll be scammed. But if he never told you, then you weren't necessarily scammed. It was up to him to determine the value of his product and what was necessary in pricing. That's up to him and his company. And you leave it up to his company to make those type of business decisions. And if you don't want to purchase it based upon the value that he's created for it, then you just go buy it for someone else or find your other means of acquiring it. Because a lot of times you're paying for the research that he put into it. You're paying for the marketing. You're paying for a lot consultation. You're paying for all of that in the purchase of the product a lot of times. And you're paying for his potential legal fees in the future, just in case he end up in a situation like Dr. Sebi for trying to heal black people, that he have at least the money to pay for legal fees to get his ass out of a situation. So you're literally paying for his insurance and hopefully to retain a lawyer. All that has to be priced within the product that he's distributing. Because if he's healing black people, they're going to try to lock his ass up and take his ass down. And black people believe in money more than they believe in healing. So if you price the product up, you probably can heal more black people by inflating the prices, because they believe in money more than they do healing. So that's how you heal them. That's a fact. So you don't know what's all included within a price if this is the case, and these are just allegations. We don't know for sure. We just saw some clips of some videos and some receipts, and we don't even know what the correlation is, or we're only assuming. But how he wants to price his product, I think, is up to him. No one goes to Gucci and Versace and Prada and tell them how to mark up their products. But when it comes to a black person distributing his products and his businesses, then you're going to tell him, "Oh, you can't sell it to me at that for that amount." But you're buying the type of reverence, you're buying into his means and the way his product is presented and the level of respect and dignity he has in managing his company and dealing with the distribution of his product. You're buying quality at that level as well, that he's coming with it in a whole other way. It's a whole other type of signature that's being put on his product. His brand is just something totally different. So you can't water down his brand because you believe that some particular product is not worth the amount. So that means you're gonna go at his brand. People that want quality mindedness and quality perception wants to pay the amount because they want the accountability of that value. And they want to know that people believe in what they're selling enough to mark it up to a level to be able to present it to somebody else. That's just my view on business. Like I said, I don't want to strictly go in on the business, but I think it's important to look at that you can't tell him, unless you run his corporation for him, you can't tell him how he need to mark his product up. He might only have 10 customers that he's ordering in the best of shit. He didn't researched it. You know what I'm saying? He have a whole research team looking into this shit, and he only got 10 customers that's like, look, y'all about to be healed. This 10 about to be healed. So then that 250 is good because that's all he gonna sell. So those 10 customers has paid for all the research, all the ordering, all the packaging, all of that it takes in order to get that product to you. Those 10 niche market people is willing to pay for that. So you're not just buying, you know what I'm saying, just any old product out the health food store. You buying a niche product that's tailored to a particular market. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt of that his market know what they're getting, so they're going to pay the $250 to say, look, I know this for me. I know you're dealing with my specific health problems with your brand and with your target marketing. So bam, I'm going to pay that because I know I'm getting what it's worth. Let me close the business door. Those are my speculations. That's my alternative view on the situation. But this is the question I really have to ask. If this brother has took this money and invested into land that he's turned into a healing center where he's inviting people down there to heal, he's opening up his doors for people to come down there and transform their consciousness, then that means that the money that you're buying for the product is going into something that's even greater than the product, that you actually paying potentially for your own independence. You potentially paying for your own oasis in the future. You're potentially paying for your opportunity to ultimately get your ass up out of the matrix. So you're not just paying for the product. You're looking at it linear. You're paying for more than the product. And if the brother had came out and said, you know, I just want to set up this land and build some pyramids and turn into a spiritual retreat or a spiritual center, would you donate for me to do that? Nobody's going to give him the money to do that. Nobody's going to give him the money for that idea. His GoFundMe account will be sitting up there. You don't want to support black people just for the strength of supporting those that are doing something positive, that have good ideas. You don't want to do it. So you force these black people to open up businesses, to come up with products where they have to price them at a level where they can draw the revenue they need to do something positive that they're trying to do anyway. And you calling them scam artists, but they just trying to do something positive. And they are doing something positive, and they are doing something that's effective, and they are healing people, and they are changing people's consciousness. And you want to reduce them to scam artists? You would not have supported them. You would not have given them the money that they need. You would not have gave it to them. For Dr. Sebi to build an OSHA village, you would not have given him the money to do that. So he had to find a way to get the money out of you to build your own healing center, to build your own community, to build your own nation. Because us out here that's not selling no product, that's been building something for years, you're not giving us a goddamn thing. You're not even willing to donate. You're not willing to put up a penny for people who have no product. They just have an idea, say, look, I'm doing this, I'm banging out for you. You won't donate a goddamn penny. So don't act like you would. Don't act like you was his supporter, Yada, if he wasn't selling you a product at that price range, that you felt the value of that. Don't act like you would have supported him in building a village and building a community. You a damn lie. Because no one has supported me in building a village and building a community. So don't act like you would do that. Because it's just not the truth. So the fact that he came up with a method to make large sums of money by distributing products that's actually healing people, and then taking that money and investing it into land and into agriculture and into black independence is to me totally positive. And I think you have to look at it from that perspective. What is he doing with the money? What is his objective? What is his agenda? That's more important than how much he's selling this particular product. That's very limited-minded and ignorant to think that you're just buying into a product and that you're not buying into the entirety of a consciousness, that you're not really buying into a paradigm, that you're not buying into the implementation of a new reality, because that's where the money is going. I mean, go and look at the videos. Look what they've done with that land. You buying more into that. But the thing about it is the whole much of how much you're paying for a product, to me, is selfish. Because if that man said he was building a community in a village for multiple people to come down there and live for free, and their consciousness to really elevate, you wouldn't donate. But when it's about your personal healing process and dealing with your personal situation, then you're willing to pay $250 for the product. And the more you pay for it, the more the value it has. So the better it is. And then that's really showing how fucking selfish that you really are. How selfish to me you are as an individual. That you're willing to pay that much for a product to just help your goddamn self versus everybody else. And then come back in the end of that and then say, well, I paid too much, that was even too much. I'm not really even willing to pay that. I want something for free for my selfish ass self. When the money that you're actually paying, he's actually utilizing that money to help more than your black ass and to do more for your black individual ass. He's doing more for that with the money. He's taking care of a child that's not even his with the money, and taking care of a woman that doesn't understand economics and the power of establishing a family business and a family brand and having integrity to that brand. He's taking care of a woman that didn't even understand that, don't even know what she's attacking, because she has so many different emotional issues tied into the idea of polygamy and multiplicity and the whole relationship narrative, that she doesn't even understand what she's even destroying. But y'all understand what y'all trying to destroy. Something that's going to lift up these other leaders and these other teachers and make them look better and make them step in. Y'all let them kill Dr. Sebi. Lock his ass up in jail. Some people got healed. Bullshit to say nobody fucking got healed from Dr. Sebi. That's a lie. Now, I don't see any evidence that anyone was healed of AIDS of Dr. Sebi. But to say no one benefited from products that we know heal people, that's inside of his concoctions, is a fabrication as well. That it's definitely herbs that Dr. Sebi is using that's actually healing people, that have healing properties and qualities to them, unarguably. That has been used by indigenous people and Caribbean islanders for decades, if not centuries. So to say they're not healing now because Dr. Sebi has priced them up would be a fabrication as well. That would be a lie. There's many people who have been healed by Dr. Sebi from many different type of ailments and have been treated in a natural way. So that's a lie. Herbs do heal. Herbs do help people. So stop lying on that. That's just not a fact. You ain't really had nothing and got it healed if you don't know that herbs healed. But I didn't want to make this video too long, man. Stop taking down and destroying our leaders. Broaden your consciousness and your scope about what these men are doing. And stop just playing into the bullshit. The crabs in the bucket. You know what I'm saying? Nigga hating nigga shit. Black supremacy. King Noble signing out.